injured or hurt at work, just call Joy.
Tonight, we continue our tribute to history and cultural heritage by highlighting schools within the Charleston County School District that honor influential African-American educators, artists, athletes, and innovators. We sit down with two former Charleston County School District students who've climbed the rungs of the education ladder, crediting their success in part to the names on the buildings who inspired them as they continue to inspire others. On paper, Dr. Barbara Dilligard is retired, but she is still making her mark in education so that students, teachers, and administrators can make theirs.
I meet people all the time who tell me something I did that I don't even remember that I did. But I'm glad that they can remember it fondly because I didn't do it to remember it, I did it to help somebody. In those days, there were schools for African-American students versus white students. I went from Buse to Simonton to Henry P. Archer to East Bay Elementary to Simonton again, back to Burke, and then C.A. Brown High School.
She says she harbors no bitterness because she saw segregated classrooms in schools. Dr. Dilligard says she believes it actually resulted in higher expectations and superior results in black students.
At that time, the brightest and best teachers who were black, they could only teach in our schools. And so they gave us their best, and they gave us a lot more than just book learning.
Dr. Dilligard did not have to stretch far to connect with people for whom Charleston County School District schools are named. She talked about her relationship with impactful educators like Wilmot J. Frazier.
Mr. Frazier was my elementary principal when I attended East Bay Elementary School, which became Sanders Clyde Elementary, named for two black women.
And years later, after she graduated college, Wilmot J. Frazier reached out to her.
He had moved from the principalship to the first supervisor of Negro schools, is what it was called. So he hired me in my first job at Burke High School as a math teacher. And he helped me work with Mr. Merriweather, and I got certified as in the state as a teacher. And I've been moving ever since. Hopefully people will take a deep dive and find out why did a group of people think this person was worthy of putting their name on the building. And then they'll discover the richness and the contributions that these people made to building future leaders of America, not just in their race, but in their communities and in the world.
Michelle Simmons is the Chief Academic Officer for the Charleston County School District. You had a chance to listen to my conversation with Dr. Dilligard.
I did, and I can tell that exact same story about her impact in my life. And I remember graduating from South Carolina State University and coming to this very office as a 22-year-old to tell her what I aspired to do and receiving her assistance and securing my very first classroom teacher assignment. And so I think this story, this idea about legacy, honoring, acknowledging those who came before us, I'm a living example of why that's so important and impactful. I became a principal for the first time in 2007 at C.C. Blaney in Hollywood. I also heard Dr. Dilligard reference C.C. Blaney. That's Claudia Blaney. She was a classroom teacher at C.C. Blaney and a principal at Baptist Hill High School, served for 44 years in Charleston County. And so when I became the principal of the school, I understood the assignment, more or less, and I understood how important it was for me to be in that position to continue on a legacy of excellence.
A Bible verse that I try to live by, and that is, unto whom much is given, much is required. We each have a responsibility to make sure that important stories are told, and it's important for each of us to take up that responsibility because we've been given much, so we are required to do much more.
And you can watch my final report in this three-part series tomorrow right here on News 2 at 5.